Did you feel that what he was saying today will get him the independent voters that he needs to win this election? Extend the base?
I have no blanket idea whether it will get him voters or not. Here's what I can tell you. Donald Trump is a libertarian economist. He believes that the more money American consumers have, the better the economy will be. And in his 4 years, that proved to be true. Real wages rose more than 7%. Under Biden, they went down. Okay, so you accept that. That's his philosophy, and that's how, if elected again, he'll govern. All right, he will do the tax cuts. He will do as much as he can to wipe out government regulation so commerce can proceed in an aggressive way. And that includes things that the global warming crew hate. So that's how he's going to govern. Whether he articulates that or not on the stump, I don't know. I'm not a speechwriter, but I know how he will govern.
Do you believe that going full roundup on his strongest domestic issue, which is immigration, is the right approach?
No, I don't, because it's impossible, number one. As soon as Donald Trump started to order federal marshals or whomever to remove people from their property, the ACLU and everybody else would file lawsuits and the federal courts would stop it. It would take 10 minutes to stop it, and it would never proceed after that. Even the Supreme Court would not go along with it. What Donald Trump could do and should do is either write an executive order, or if he has a Republican Congress, pass a law that says if you are in this country without documentation, you must register with the federal government. At your local post office, there'll be forms there. You send them in within 60 days so we know where you are and what you are doing. If you do not register, you will be immediately deported. Whether you're living with 18 people, it doesn't matter. Then the federal government can begin to adjudicate fairly, because we should be a fair country.
Due process.
Each case. It'll take years. It'll take years to do it, but at least there'll be a baseline of the government knows who the Hamas terrorists and where they live, and the regular good folks and where they live, all right? And if you don't comply, you're gone. And if you want to do a mass deportation of those who don't comply, the courts will not be able to stop you. You'll be able to do that.
You should,
and that's what you should
give him. You should give him that idea. One other thing. The idea of time.
Why would I give him that idea? Why would I give him that idea?
Why wouldn't you?
I'm going to.
Don't you care about your country?
Because here, I said this before to you. I have talked to 5 presidents in an interview form and off the record. If any president calls me, and they have, and asks me my opinion, I will give it to them, whether it's a Republican, a Democrat. Boom, and I'll lay it out in a fact-based way. But I don't intrude, okay? I don't call up people and go, yeah, why don't you do this? It's not my job. My job is to watch what they're doing and then put forth a solution that I think would work for the country. Does that make sense?
Sure, makes sense. I've spoken to 5 presidents also.
Because
wait, I want to ask you something, but go ahead.
No, I don't want to sound like a barker at a Bourbon Street strip joint. I don't want to do that.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.